Hello there, my name is Thiago Moraes. I'm here to show a series of knots that were used in something called Hikizuri. Hikizuri was the act of pulling someone, dragging someone over the ground, usually by a horse. In this case we're talking about Shibaru, which is part of the study that we have with knots. And well, Shibaru is specifically the subset within the Nawa-no-giko techniques, the arts or skills techniques with ropes that were employed when someone was imprisoning or applying those techniques to war prisoners. So there was no concern, as there is in Hojo Jutsu on the other hand, with aesthetics or with the idea of not injuring the prisoner. Okay, so we actually skipping the technique up to this point. You can see he's already fully restrained here, and what I'm going to show you is just the knot. Okay, so the knot we're going to do is actually a fairly quick knot that is used by here. Okay, and then we can adjust the size of this loop, because the idea was, for example, if I wanted to use this loop to tie to a horse, to the back of the horse, for instance, so he could be dragged down. So I could use more or less, a bigger or a smaller loop in order to provide the effect one wanted to use. But you can see he is heavily restrained here, and there's nothing he could do because both his hands are tied and his face. Okay, so the following knot, we're going to see a series of knots in Hikizuri. It is here, so quickly done. The idea is that he was also in another fashion, another way, fully restrained, and what we have is a final knot, again with a loop that can be adjusted according to the situation. And you can see he is fully restrained on the hands. If I turn him around, you'll see on the hips as well, and on the neck. So another knot in Hikizuri, part of Shibaru. Now one more knot, and the idea here is that one could use this loop for Hikizuri, as we have just mentioned, as I've just told you, but also remember that the Shizen people used to hang people on trees, branches of trees, so they could be exposed there, usually sometimes with injuries, but as, let's say, an attempt to create fear over the next enemies that would come. So they could be dragged, or they could be hanged. So you can see on the back, hands are tied over here and over here. So we're just focusing on the illustration of the knots themselves. We're actually studying and reconstructing the knots that were used on this subset, and then we are sharing with all of you. Now we have the last of this series. Now you can see he's sitting, and we have both hands and feet restrained. So the only thing I'm going to do here is to finish our knot. Okay, and we have already our loop. As I told you, I can extend this loop, make it bigger or smaller according to the use and the situation, and could use to drag the enemy by a horse or hang him on a tree. Okay, thank you very much.